No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. Can somebody save me, I'm losing every battle.
Good morning, beautiful people of the world. Good morning, Brenda Epps. How are you, beautiful? Thank you for joining us in the studio. Happy Friday. You know, a lot of people say, oh, thank God it's Friday. And I want to just set a reframe for you. It's thank God it's Monday. Thank God it's Tuesday. Thank God it's Wednesday. Thank God it's Thursday. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Saturday. Thank God it's Sunday. Thank God every day is a gift that you're here. And let us be grateful. Let us rejoice in every single gift from God. Good morning, Marion. Thank you so much for joining us here in the studio. Good morning, Melody Dixon. Thank you, my love, for joining as always. So we continue working from High Performance Habits, Brendon Burchard's New York Times #1 best-selling book. And I'm going to do, good morning, Nicole. How are you, beautiful? Thanks for joining. I'm going to play a little video at some point in here to sort of help us get grounded in this idea of being courageous. Because living this life, thank you, Brenda. See, I love this. Everyone take Brenda's lead, please. I invite you to take Brenda's lead and share this video. Share it with a friend, with a colleague, with another person who you know is on their entrepreneur dream. Just share it out. Start a watch party. Build courage, you can use as the title. We have to be the light that pierces through the darkness. We have been steeped in dark times. We have to be like this, elbows out. Like this. Can't let it come into our system, can't let it infect our soul. And so that's why I encourage you to have others come. Let this be appointment viewing. Make sure you're putting this in your calendar so that every morning, I tell you that I'm in 4 different programs. One of the masterminds that I'm in, it's a year-long program. We meet every morning, 9 a.m. via Zoom. Holidays, weekends, birthdays, it matters not. We're all together on that Zoom, 9 a.m. every single day. That's the determination. That's the resiliency. That's the courage to say, wow, I'm going to really commit myself. Because if you know anything about me, good morning, Marianne. If you know anything about me, freedom is my #1 brand attribute. Freedom. Like George Michael, freedom. Don't schedule me. Let me decide. Let me say, because I might not be in the mood and I want to just flow like the river. I just want to flow. So for me to be taking these steps to say, yes, I am committing. And oh, by the way, part of this program is training us to honor our words to ourselves. And that's a big thing. It's a new thing. And if you want to join me in this, I encourage you to give it a go. So for example, sometimes you're talking to a friend, you're like, okay, I'll call you back in an hour. And you just give that no thought because you really meant to say, bye, I'll talk to you another time. When your brain hears that and then your body doesn't follow through, it's starting to signal a pattern to your brain that this is not somebody who can be trusted because they don't honor their words to themselves. And so we're going to have them be a little suspect in our viewing. Something as simple as saying, I'm going to read 2 pages from High Performance Habits. If you say it, do it. If you say it, do it. And one of the ways that my mentor showed us to build resiliency, and it sounds like it's really silly, but it's a way to start to train your mind to get back into belief with you, because you want your brain working alongside you. Whatever goals you have in life, personal or business, you want your brain, the most powerful machine on the planet, working with you, not working against you. So if I say, I'm going to okay, watch this. It's simple. I'm going to pick up my coffee with my left hand. And I picked up my coffee with my left hand. I'm going to show you my candle, Michael Lee Jackson, Sage and Eucalyptus, and I show it to you. I'm going to take up this letter. I'm going to click on the remote. Right? It sounds insane, but this is rigor, this is practice, so that you say it and you do it. You say it and you do it. You say it and you do it. It's like if you go to the gym, when you're doing that elliptical, you're not seeing muscle definition straight away, but you just know and you believe that if I keep doing this, soon and very soon, the fat is going to start becoming less and less. The muscles are going to make themselves be known. My cardio is going to be super awesome, and you keep going. Try that. Trust me, take my foolish advice, try it. That's how you start to do that. So when we talk about demonstrating courage, it starts with this quote. There are 2 ways of meeting difficulties. There are 2 ways of meeting difficulties. You alter the difficulties, or you alter yourself to meet them. There are 2 ways of meeting difficulties. You alter the difficulties, or you alter yourself to meet them. Phyllis Batome. So in this habit number 6, high performance habit number 6, number 1, he says, honor the struggle. 2, share your truth and ambitions and find someone to fight for. So I'm going to queue up this video now. So give me a quick second. But let's read this from Mark Twain in Courage Basics. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. Right? You've heard feel the fear and do it anyway. That's what they're talking about. Courage doesn't mean there isn't fear. When you think about David, young David, before he became King David, when he got the spirit on him, when Goliath started talking against God, and he just lost his little mind and was like, who is this uncircumcised Philistine? Courage came into him. He understood that this was a 9-foot, 10-foot giant that he was looking at. He knew, right? It wasn't like he was like, oh, it's just a little puppy, I can just take it. No, he knew what he was going into. But he had the courage to move through the fear, because the thing that he was desirous of was greater than the presence of the fear. And we know how the story goes. A slingshot and 5 smooth stones, and that sucker was dead and dead and dead, and his head fed to the birds of the air. Thank you, Melody. Courage. Fear, but we're moving. Fear, but we're standing. Fear, but we're bracing, right? We're not running. We're not shrieking. We're not hiding. We're not blaming. Because one of the things that, this was just such a gift from my mom. She told me the story about when she was working at Trans World Airlines. Shout out to everybody who knows what that even is, right? It was TWA. And she had this coworker who was just making her life just a total nightmare. I mean, it was just changing the schedule last minute, making stuff up, just bad. So she was having a rough go at it on the job. So, you know, they have those like council, like corporate counsel or employee EPA, I think it is, employee something assistant. Somebody help me with what the real name is. And she went in to see the woman because it was just becoming so difficult for her to perform on her job because the environment was so toxic and so laced with malice and vengeance and all. So she went in and told her story. Here is what's going on. You know, I'm a good worker. I've been with this company for 14 years. I never show up late. I help and I encourage other people. I take pride in the work that I do. And on she listed out her bio, her creds, her evidence markers of what a brilliant worker she was. And of course, you know, all of the spotlight on this person who was making her life a total nightmare at work. So the counselor woman listened, you know, she let her do all of how great she is, how wonderful she is, how helpful she is, how supportive she is, how, you know, with rigor, she shows up and does her job, takes her job, right? Let her go. And then the woman, the counselor woman said to her, can I ask you a question? And my mom said, sure. And she said, do you know who Jesus Christ is? And my mom said, of course, I'm a good Christian. I go to church every Sunday. And then, of course, she was getting into, not like defensive, but saying, of course, I know who Jesus Christ is. And in that moment, without the woman actually even saying anything further, it clicked for my mom. She didn't say another word. She said to the counselor woman, she's like, may I give you a hug? And the woman said, sure, you can. My mom hugged her and left the office. Who can tell me what happened? What light bulb moment happened for my mom that was her response to when the woman asked her, do you know who Jesus Christ is? Who can give me a thought? Just throw some stuff out because we're just going to work through and then I want to get to this video. Let me check my time. Any guess? We're just having a little bit of a breakthrough work here. And I don't want to just give you the answer. I want you to think about it. Okay, Melody says, Jesus is greater than the bully. Okay, that was good. That wasn't it, but yeah. Who else has an offering? I'm collecting your thoughts. I'm like walking around at church with the offering. Who else has an offering? Give me your thoughts, please. Okay, Brenda's offering up. She remembered who brought her through. That's good. That's good, but that wasn't it. But yes, right? Jesus is the way maker, the way shower. Anybody else? I'll take one more and I'll give you the answer. Anybody else? Okay, Jim is offering up empathy, understanding, and forgiveness. Good, but that's not it. Margaret, hello, beautiful. Oh my gosh, Margaret is like my Holy, from years ago at Ogilvy. How are you, Margaret? Respect and common ground. That's good too, but that's not it. Okay, everybody, come close. Listen in. When the counselor said to my mom, "Do you know who Jesus Christ is?" And my mom said yes, and started to talk, and then it clicked. What she understood in that moment, Jesus Christ was a perfect human. He was sinless. He was blameless. He was perfection personified in a human body. And lo and behold, Judas betrayed him, sold him for 30 pieces of silver, handed him over to his death, his massive, torturous crucifixion and his death. Jesus, who is sinless, blameless, perfection. So who are you that somebody wouldn't come up against you? Who are you that somebody wouldn't try to change the schedule on you so your day could be messed up and you could be late? Who are you that people won't say things against you in the street? Do you guys get that? So when she got that, it's like, oh my gosh, if it can happen to Jesus Christ, who am I to think it shouldn't happen to me, wouldn't happen to me, and that I dare have the unmitigated gall to be upset and in my feelings because somebody changed the schedule or somebody's talking about me at work? Jesus Christ was perfect. You are no perfection. You are a sinner. And if the perfect man can be sold for 30 pieces of silver, backstabbed and betrayed by one of his day one, then please understand it will happen to you, right? Listen to me. People sometimes ask me like, Faith, how are you just so... Listen, guys, I'm like this. I'm always in a state of allowing, of accepting, of understanding, of being. Not saying, again, remember, because we're going to get into this video in a second, not saying when things don't go your way, you're not like, oh, bummed a little bit. But I learned how to discipline my disappointment. Somebody hashtag that. Discipline your disappointment. Jesus says, in this world, in this life, you will have problems. He already told us. I think I was saying to Tasha like a couple of years ago, the Bible is like an open book test. The answers are all there. In this world, you will have problems. The scripture continues to say, but be of good cheer because I have overcome, right? So he's telling you, listen, things are going to happen. You're going to have a boss who wants to make your life a living hell. In this world, you will have problems. You sent out an email and you didn't send out your link, so nobody could click on anything to register. In this world, you will have problems. You're driving along, minding your business, and somebody just like flicks you off for no good reason because they don't like the look of your face. In this world, you will have problems. So when you sit in a place of understanding, I love Jim Rohn when he talks about when somebody says they're going to do something and they don't do it, that you invite them to a conference, you invite them to a meeting, and they don't show up. I'm gonna tell her off. I can't. He said, the energy and the effort, and just say, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? And keep it moving. It takes rigor. It takes tenure in the position. Of course, I didn't just wake up like this, just being like, oh, queen of resiliency. But I'm telling you, this has been my way to just help me exist in the world and to go through and to thrive and to, like you see a car wreck and you're like, blinders on, keep it moving, right? We say a prayer and we keep it moving. In 2008, when the recession was at its peak, and I was chief strategy officer at Hunt Atkins, and I got the come to the meeting visit, stuff's about to go down. And of course, Faith, we love you a long time, which I get. I'm like, listen, I understand it. Times are tough. Advertising agencies go through that. Anytime there's a downturn, brands tend to just quickly shut down the the advertising and the marketing budget. That day, that evening, after I, said my goodbyes, and of course you're like, whoa, because in my mind at the time, right, was probably the year before, 2 years before, I had built a 5,000 square foot home on a lake with a pool and water feature, and it was joie de vie. That joie de vie cost me $7,000 a month to run that. So my costs were high, which was commensurate with my salary. So I needed my job. And when they're like, yeah, unfortunately, we said, I'm going to give you a good severance and a good recommendation, but yeah, we're going to have to cut back. Of course, in my mind, I'm freaking like, holy Hannah, what in the world am I going to do? But you know what I did? I left, said my goodbyes. That evening, I'm updating my resume. I'm not in a fetal position. I'm not crying. I'm not bemoaning, oh, why me? And find a reason to blame. In this world, you will have problems, but be of good cheer because I've overcome them all. You just have to have a knowing and an understanding that this too shall pass. I say this to you all the time. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Didn't say, yea, though I build my forever home in the valley of the shadow of death. Doesn't say, yea, though I lease my new condo in the valley of the shadow of death. Yea, though I walk through. It's but for a time. And that's why the courage needs to come together for you, because it's to withstand. It's like in our house, we have the hurricane proof windows, right? Doesn't mean that a hurricane can't hit us. But what it means is that, okay, resiliency, these windows are ready when not if, we are ready when the hurricane comes. Be ready to discipline your disappointments. Do not let them overcome you. Don't get into blame. Oh, woe is me. Why did this happen to me? Why did I get laid off? I was such a good worker. In this life, you will have problems. I'm not saying to be paranoid. I'm not saying to be fatalistic. I'm saying to be realistic and pragmatic and to honor your ability to move through faith. So let me pull up this video. It is so powerful, and I want to make sure, and this is what I'm going to do on Fridays. I'll just find a really compelling video to help move us into the weekend. All right, so let me do this, share my screen. Happy Friday, it's Doris Eggins. Hey, beautiful. All right, let me share. I want everybody to take a deep breath. I want you to woosah. I want you to just come from a place of openness and to hear. I want you to hear and watch, okay? mean, wow, right? Just wow. So tell me what came up for you when you saw that. Give me some reactions to that. And I need everybody to really internalize what you just saw and heard and read and apply it to yourself. Courage and fear are not separate and apart, right? They're on one spectrum. You think of law of polarity, it's just on the end of the same spectrum. So if you're feeling fear, if you're feeling discouraged, if you're feeling not worthy, if you're feeling whatever, on the other side of that must exist, according to universal law, must exist hope and winning and showing up and being the light and encouraging and helping and moving forward. It exists. Yes, Karen, super powerful. One cannot exist without the other because according to the law of polarity, it's on the same. So exactly, Melody, you got it. If you're not seeing the immediate results, I forget the name of the author, but I'm going to get this for you. But the quote is, absence of evidence is not evidence of its absence. Somebody lock that into your heart today, please. Not because you don't see it means it's not happening. Think of that bamboo. 5 years? Why so long? Why can't we have a little sprouting go up in at least 6 months? We want a little shade. Why do we have to wait 5 years? Because, just because, right? That is how nature was structured. That is how we are created, to have patience. Bible calls us to anchor ourselves into hope. Be anchored. Paul says, none of these things move me. I've been shipwrecked. I've been beaten. I've been jailed. I've been in prison. None of these things move me from the bosom of the Lord. He is resolved. He is determined. He knows that is where his hope and his sustenance in his life rests. Can't nobody tell Paul nothing. Where are you with your determination, your resolve for what it is that you want from your life? Is it a weight loss goal? And you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm in this plateau. I've been eating beans and salad and nothing. And you're going to just, oh, forget it. Your body is not like everybody's. I know plenty of people. I look at where we would be out eating and they're like eating and have the good steak is not eaten. I swear to you guys. And I'm looking at their plate like, are you crazy? Are you going to leap? But I'm not saying it, but this is what I'm thinking. You're not eating that. You're just going to leave. You're just going to like send that. Because again, for those of you who know me, food is my friend. Right? So I know I have a different, maybe a codependent relationship when it comes to good food. Like I love food a long time. It's like, Jim will tell you, even Sunny Fenton, she used to be my colleague at Hunt Atkins. We would joke together because we were both sort of like this. We would be having breakfast with a client. Shout out to Jim Atkins. We would be having breakfast with a client and then we're talking about, ooh, what are we going to have for lunch? Oh my God. Listen, I'm just standing in my truth, right? So for me, it has taken a longer time for me to get to my ideal weight, BMI, all of those things, because I can't look at my friend who, eats only half of her and she's happy and we're a different makeup. So this is what happens when you look at somebody else's life and you're like, oh my God, they got 100 people on that. Look at me. I only have 9. Mind your business while you're minding your business. If I can give you anything today, is to stay anchored. If you believe, this is the caveat. If you believe what you have is good. So if I look at, let me go back to the top. Brenda, if you believe what you have is good. Marion, if you believe what you have and what you have to give to the world is good. Nicole, do you believe what you have to offer to the world is good? Do you believe, Marion? Do you believe, Jim? Do you believe, Margaret? Do you believe what you have is good? Doris, do you believe what you have is good? Karen, do you believe what you have is good? And if it's good, it's not just for you, right? It is not just for you. In fact, it was not given to you. It was like, in Mexico, you can't own any of Mexico's land. You can lease it for 99 years, but you can't claim that you own any piece of that land. So you don't own your gifts and talents. They're leased to you for the number of years you have on the earth. It is your responsibility. It's your role. It's your calling to share your gifting, to share your knowledge, to share your talents for the good of the world. So if you know and you believe what you have is good, then you must be ready to show up and share it. Yes. It's a balancing act. Feel the fear and step into it with courage and confidence, no matter what. If you believe, because here's the thing, if you're like, you know what, this program that I have is a junk. It's total junk. Nobody's going to get any results. I'm just hoodwinking these people so I can get their membership money, but whatever. It's not going to work out for you. But if you believe, and it's important, it's necessary that the world get this, you can't give up. It is not your place to give up, because what you have, the gifting, is not yours. You are tasked with spreading the good news and giving it to the people. If you grow too quickly, you will outgrow your reserves and you cannot sustain. And so that's why you need to pace yourself. Be okay. A little up and down, right? Don't freak out. Only 2% of the people opened your email. Don't freak out. Don't make it mean anything about you. You had a dinner party, a reintroduction dinner party, a yay vaccination party for all the people in your life who've been like double vaccinated, and 20 of them, and only 10 showed up. Don't make that mean anything. The people are busy. The people have you don't know what people are going through, what challenges they're having to work through. And so right now, a kiki dinner, cheers celebration isn't what the doctor ordered for them in their mind. We don't know. And so, from the 4 agreements, don't take anything personally. This is where we get ourselves into trouble. Don't take it personally. It didn't work out. That was not a good time. I know, yes, the foodie's in the house. Yes. So if you believe, if you understand that what you have is good, that it's important, that it matters, that it's necessary, that it is life-giving for the people for whom God has appointed you to serve, then there has to be a decision that says, I am not giving up. I shared this before, last few weeks. So the Australian Open's been going on, and Venus was playing and twisted her ankle, and some other thing was going on with her, and she was down 5-1. And in that moment, she probably could have just said, listen, I've got this challenge, this disease. Honey, tell me what her disease is called again. So she could get a hall pass. Nobody's going to fault her, right? Then now her ankle, then now her toes. She was struggling, down 5-1, down 1-5. And that woman had her medical timeout, got her stuff together, wrapped up, and came back out on the court and was playing. You could see her body energy was, you're going to have to take me off this court via stretcher because I am here to play. I'm not here to blame. I'm not here to go whine, oh, woe is me. I'm here to play, right? Because her gifting in that moment was to show courage, was to show people like, look, you could look like you're dead in the water. You could look like all signs are a no go for you. What's your attitude? What's your energy around it? I tell you this story all the time. When I first started my business and I did my very first Branding Over Brunch event, and I think I had like 30, 40, 50 people in the room, and I can't remember. It was at the Ballantrae Country Club. And it was music and DJ, and it was photographer and videographer and food, and it was super posh. You know how we do. And after the event, coming close to the end, I made an offer. Because now by this time, I spent thousands of dollars putting this thing on. I make an offer and say, here's how we can work together. I think I had 2 or 3 different things. One person, did I tell you how many people were in the room? 40 or 50. One person, bought a package from me for $297. I need you to let that sink in for you. This is my first event. This is my yeah, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to be my own boss. I'm not going to work for agencies anymore. Like, come on, right? Everybody's amped up. We're like, woohoo, make the offer. One person, $297. So with courage and fear in that moment, I could be looking and go, whoa, this is embarrassing. Here I am standing at the front of the room. Everybody's not rushing to the table to come sign up to do branding work with me. Like, oh my God, I could run in fear. The next day I could be like, you know what? This is junk. I'm just going to keep my day job and forget about this. I make good 6-figure money. I don't need this stress. I don't need this embarrassment. Right? And that one person, I call her my day one, is Melody Dixon. Shout out to Melody Dixon, who is always in the house. Love you so much. But I want you to understand from me what was going on, right? Because I was determined. Nevertheless, I saw that. And I played for you guys before this video, but I'm going to play it again. Where is it? Okay. Okay.
How would you like?
Oh, come on. We don't want any ads on this.
Like to see 5 real-life examples of people making over $1 million a year online with nothing.
What do you think the chances are?
Okay. One of my favorite scenes in this movie. So I'm going to share it and we'll have some fun with this. So I bring this point up to say, in that moment, I had a decision to make. I could say, this is a total failure. I'm so embarrassed. Keep your day job, honey. This thing's not going to work out for you. Or I could look at it and go, okay, one person bought something. So let's listen to this bit here.
What do you think the chances are of a guy like you and a girl like me ending up together?
Well, Lloyd, that's difficult to say, and we really don't.
Hit me with it. Just give it to me straight. I came a long way just to see you married. Just least you can do is level with me. What are my chances?
Not good.
You mean not good like 1 out of 100?
I'd say more like 1 out of 1,000,000.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
Oh my gosh, I just love this. But that's it, guys. That is it.
I had forgotten this.
You have to, I love that, love you long time. Good morning, Vivian. Thanks for joining us. But do you see the attitude that, so he disciplined his disappointment in that moment, because she's basically telling him there's not a chance in hell, but she said 1 in a million. So instead of focusing on the million ways that she would never date him, he heard one and said, so you're telling me there's a chance. So when Melody was the only person who bought a package from me for $297 after I had spent thousands of dollars putting on that event, that was me in my mind. There is a chance this could work. There is a chance somebody just bought something. Hang on to that one person who bought $297. Don't look at the rest of the people in the audience who didn't buy anything. Somebody bought something. You have something good in here. Go back, multiply, build out, come back. And you know exactly what I did? Next year, came back. I didn't let that phase me. I disciplined my disappointment because I knew I'd already come to the understanding that what it is that I have to offer to the world is good. It's important. It is necessary. It is needed. It is everything. Right? I jokingly say, I call myself the Harriet Tubman of the corporate world. You want to be able to exit your 9-to-5 and become the CEO of you and have a life that you design that's based on freedom. Listen, I'm not saying it's a cakewalk. I mean, I've told you the stories before. When I was launching my online course, I was up at 2:00 in the morning on a Zoom call with a Pakistani from Fiverr. I'm not saying it's a cakewalk, but the freedom to decide to be in the doing of what it is that you want to do, and in doing of the impact that you're supposed to make, in doing the work to create your legacy. Because my big intention is that the world is a better place because I was here in it. That I am not sucking life from the planet, that I am doing my part to refresh, rejuvenate. We got solar on our house. I don't know if I even told you guys this. Yep, we got solar done. I don't know, honey, a few weeks ago, coming off the grid. So it's so important that you understand what you have is not just for you, that you have to share your gifts and talents and be courageous. So courage is resistance to fear. Mastery of fear, it is not the absence of it. You are capable of remarkable things that you could never foretell and will never discover without taking action. One of the quotes that my hubby, I borrow from him all the time, is this idea of the one thing guaranteed to leave a person in the darkness of total ignorance is contempt before investigation. So you just see something, you're like, that's not for me. I can do that. How do you know? Did you try it? Oh, no, I don't like octopus. That's it. How do you know? Did you try it? That is when we want to persist in our ignorance. You cannot have contempt for something prior to investigation. Eat the smelt, and then you go, yep, I've had it, and no, me and the smelt cannot take tea. That's a wrap for me. But when you don't investigate, and then you have a point of view, you don't try, you don't go take a weekend course to learn how to create a webinar, but you just say, oh no, I can't, I'm just, did you try it? Did you take a course? Did you have somebody who is a mentor who knows what they're doing to help you? And then you go like, that's not for me. You are capable of remarkable things that you could never foretell and will never discover without taking action. Let that sink in. I'm going to wrap us with this quote, and then next week, because we're here Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. we'll go into honor the struggle, which is in practice 1 of demonstrating courage. It says success is giving 100% of your effort, body, mind, and soul to the struggle. John Wooden. So we'll dig into that and kind of get a little bit more context and meaning and understanding. But I want to send you off this Friday. It's a brilliant, beautiful. We're so grateful. You know, I do my gratitude journaling every day, and one of the things I put, I'm just so grateful I live in Florida. So shout out to everybody who is north and west and northeast and southwest of us who are dealing with, I mean, untold. I think about it and I just think like how awful, how terrible. But we send them love, we pray, we send love and light. And I want you to be intentional this day, this weekend, of what are some things that I could and should be doing to improve habits in my life, to amp up my performance. I shared from, I believe it was from the War of Art when we were studying that in January, that it says the human body, we have the equivalent in terms of energy. We have the equivalent of 30 very large hydrogen bombs. Think about that. The equivalent energy that runs through the human body is equivalent to 30 very large hydrogen bombs. And when we just sit and we don't activate it, when we sit and we don't go deep down and tap into that energy, it's a missed opportunity. It's a missed opportunity to do the good that God put us in this world to do. I tell you this all the time, guys. We were not born to work, pay bills, and die. Let me be the first to tell you that is not the master plan. For sure, right? Not here to work, pay bills, and die. We are here to take up space. We are here to impact the world. We are here to bring a sense of community to the world, to the planet, that we come together in our humanity, regardless of your color, race, creed, sexual preference, whatever, to bring a sense of humanity to this planet, for this planet. This planet sustains us. We are nothing if this planet, shout out to Perseverance, making that Mars landing. I was joking. I said to my husband, I'm like, what's Curiosity up there doing, roving around all these years, all this time? But shout out to the NASA team. I'll wrap you with this. So when President Kennedy made the intention, declared, decided, resolved, America was going to the moon. He had no clue, no understanding, never been done before. He went to the NASA scientists and he said, what is it going to take to get a man on the moon? And you know what the scientist said to him? The will to do it. The will to do it. They had never done that before. Oh, thank you, Dora. Good morning, beautiful. Thank you for joining us in studio. Nobody had gone to the moon. Certainly not a manned mission to the moon. And President Kennedy didn't let that stop him. Similarly with Ford, when he told his engineers, it's like, I want to have 8 cylinders in the Model T. And they're like, it's impossible. He's like, okay, do it. It's like he didn't even hear them when they were like, oh no, it's impossible. There's no way. He said, okay, do it. I mean, it took them months, but he was just, get the 8 cylinder. That's it. Get to the moon. Get to your goals. Get to your place that has been already delineated and marked out for you. Get there. Discipline your disappointment. In this life, you will have problems, but Jesus says, but be of good cheer because I have overcome. Move through, feel the fear, do it anyway. Fall down. My favorite Japanese proverb, nana yori okobi. I'm going to find it and tell it to you better. But it basically means fall down 7, get up 8. You have to just be determined, resolved, Be like Paul when he says, none of these things move me. You want to whip me, beat me, poison me, put me in a chokehold, snake, but when you get to that level of resiliency, when you get to that point where, who was it? I think it was Odie. Shout out to Odie Anderson. He had this meme that I love so much, and I think I shared it. It was a meme of, you know, those mountain goats that literally, they're like on the side of the, like, this is the rock face of the hill, and they're standing like right here. And it said something to the effect of, when people are waiting for your downfall, but you're a goat, right? Just standing up on that ledge, just literally, I'm like, how are they even up there? No flat surface. They're literally on the side of the mountain, right? Even though, nevertheless, be the goat. Go do the thing that you know you are divinely appointed. And this is what I want to say to you. If it's divinely appointed, it's not your doing, it's God's doing. And what I say to you always, when you don't multiply your gifts and talents, according to the War of Arts, Stephen Pressfield, you shame the angels that are up in heaven cheering for you, and you spite God who created you. There are no excuses. You can have success, or you can have your story. You can have reasons why you can't do something, or you can have your results. You can make excuses, or you can make money, but you can't do both. So the choice is yours. I'm encouraging you to be that even though, nevertheless. We're working on some even though, nevertheless, some really cool t-shirt designs that'll be coming. And we have a new website that's launching, so stay tuned for that. I love you guys with all my heart. Thank you so much. This has been such, I say this all the time, like literally God executive produces this show, because it was not a plan. There's no 2021 game plan that says, you know, create a brand momentum morning show. Lord knows I'm busy enough as it is. And what did I tell you? Freedom is my thing. Don't schedule me. And to be like, yep, I'm here Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. It's all God. But the one thing I know that I do is I try to stay obedient, even when I don't understand it, because what do I know? Your thoughts are not my thoughts, and your ways are not my ways. So when God says move, I say move. When he says jump, I'm jumping. So I love you. I encourage you. Remember, we still have a pandemic going on. Stay socially distant. Wash your hands. And of course, always wear a mask. Let me just wrap with this, as I always like to do, because once these codes are done, they're done. So I don't want anybody to say, oh, I never knew about it. If you're not in the Brand Accelerator online course and accountability program, this is your opportunity to get in. Just comment below Accelerator. You will get a message in your Facebook Messenger. It'll tell you all about the program. It's a $97 one-time payment, and you're in for life. As long as I breathe and as long as you breathe, you're in this program with me. We do monthly challenges. We do Monday shout out for goals. We do support. I pop in and I do video trainings, do master classes. We have guest speakers. This is just a special deal I did with AppSumo because I just wanted to. This program normally was $897. And so because I gave AppSumo the 97 deal, I said, well, I'm just going to have everybody get in on that deal. So make hay while the sun shines. Comment Accelerator below, and you will receive information in your Facebook. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Yeah, my birthday's on the 26th, which I will be in a training on the 26th. So it is just what it is, but we'll celebrate after. Thank you, beautiful Vivian. I so appreciate you. Thank you, Doris. Yes, be the GOAT. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Go be brilliant. Go be awesome. Do the things that you know you're appointed to do. There's no mystery in why you were here. You know what needs to be done. Just get determined. Just get decided. Just get resolved. Take care, guys. Bye now.